International politics scares the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
This Brittney Griner trade for that arms dealer scares the shit out of me.
Man, you know what's funny? So I had one I had one passive I had like one understanding of it where I'm like, oh, so she broke a rule. The rule seems like not that big of a deal.
It's nothing.
But, you know, as my friend Chris recently said, rules is rules. So she breaks a rule. And then I'm like, holy shit, they're really like using her as a political pawn.
Yeah.
And then they get her back with an arms dealer, trade an arms dealer, and you wonder about whether that's somehow an asymmetrical trade. But I don't know. I don't even know what's going on. And then you just, it's kind of like, oh, glad she's back. And then talk about the outrage machine. Then you read like a narrative that'd be like, we traded international arms dealer. What's his nickname? Dr. Death or some shit.
Merchant of Death.
Merchant of Death for a dope smoker. We didn't get the Marine back. The person didn't want the national anthem played at their games, right? And you go like, oh, there's a narrative that you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's like a well-crafted narrative that I didn't put together.
Have you ever seen Russia's take on it?
No.
Oh my God, it's kind of crazy because it turned out that they offered one or the other. They offered either Paul Whelan, who was the
really?
Marine, yeah, or
that's what they're saying.
Yeah, well, that's what NBC was saying as well, and then they redacted it and changed their story. But yeah, that's supposedly it was a 1 versus 1. You could pick which one. And in Russia, there's this political show, sort of like a Fox News type show, where they're making. See if you can find it, Jamie. I'll send it to you if you do. Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up. It's just not the link's not.
So in this thing, they're just completely mocking. Like, well, he's one. You know, he has one thing going against him. He is a man, and also, you know, he is white. Like here. Meanwhile, in Russia, top state propagandists reveal the narrative they'll be pushing to harm Biden and enrage Americans about the exchange of Brittney Griner for Victor Bout by falsely claiming that it wasn't Russia's decision to oppose Whelan's release as opposed to Griner. So it's hard to say. This person who's saying this is saying that it was Russia's decision to oppose Whelan's release, who they think was spying. I don't know if he was or wasn't. He may have been arrested for espionage. But see if you can find the video because
it's going to be in Russian. So
they don't have it. No, but it's you see the translation.
Well, people are listening though.
Yeah, we'll translate it.
He's got a great point, Joe.
Yeah, he does.
Позабавило, хотя не
So, of
удивило.
course, I was very amused but not surprised
обменяли
that Bout was
бьются
exchanged for Griner and not Whelan.
Я, во-первых, поздравляю
First of all, I congratulate Bout and his entire family. For many years, we have been in touch with his family and with him personally to the extent it was possible. We communicated with him to the extent that we could. Of course, this is a huge joy and relief for all of us. I can't even imagine. I can't say anymore, Jamie. You touched it. Just go full screen.
That's what I was trying to
Okay, but he was not exchanged for the heroic spy because he is a spy. Whelan is a spy. He was apprehended while receiving information on a flash drive. He said he was supposed to get photos of churches and Sergei Posad on a flash drive. You send the church photos to WhatsApp, right? That's where we get them. Look where I've been. You don't. Quality would be decent, no worse than on a flash drive. He is a spy, therefore, to them, he is a hero. He's a hero, decorated Marine, covered in medals. He only has 1, no 2, no 3 problems. His first problem is he is white. Second problem is he is a man. Third problem, he is a heterosexual. And they're laughing. This is not something that can be forgiven today. It's just a catastrophe. Yet here Griner beats him in every aspect. American voters were given a choice. A hero who suffered while serving his fatherland. A medal-covered hero who suffered during his service to his fatherland, the United States, or a black lesbian hooked on drugs. Oh, Jesus. Who suffered for a vape with hashish.
Американский избиратель.
and well known for the sake of PR.
Американский избиратель.
American voters are choosing the obvious.
И я считаю, что для нас
I think
это
for
вторая
us,
хорошая
it's
новость.
one more piece of good news.
Хорошая
First good news is that Bout has returned. And the second good news is that a nation
в такой степени наплевать на своих героев, что она
that
считает
spits on its
значительно
heroes to
более
the
важным
extent
вызволить
that it considers it
действительно
significantly
задел
more
пострадавших.
important to free a
Она
rightly
известная
charged,
спортсменка,
well-known
но
athlete.
она пострадала
She
не
didn't
потому, что
suffer
на
because
родине
she
служила,
served
а
her
потому, что она
motherland,
не могла без него
but
там 10
because
часов
she
побыть
couldn't
или
live
сколько, да?
for 10 hours
Вместо
without her
того, чтобы
hashish
вызволить
instead of
человека,
freeing
который 2 года
that
уже
person in
сидит на
prison for
секундочку,
2
и который
years
родине служил, и за
for
это
serving his
это о
motherland.
многом говорит.
This says a lot about the state of this society. So this is just like basically Fox News in Russia. They're it's obviously a very propaganda-driven show, but you have to. That's the thing about Russia. Like, you can't have a show that shits all over the government in Russia. You could never have, like, when MSNBC was openly mocking Trump, and CNN was constantly talking about Trump, and it was jacking up their ratings. That's like not even possible in Russia.
Yeah.
You can't have a show like
The
that.
Ruskies be all over your ass.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, you could never, because a society like this is what people don't understand when they try to impose censorship. It goes all the way through. You will eventually get to a point where it's only state-sanctioned information that's allowed to be distributed if you allow censorship. Because they've already shown that the government is deeply embedded in social media. And this is one of the things that's most disturbing about these revelations about whether it's the FBI or whatever intelligence agencies were behind censoring certain people off of Twitter and removing certain people off of Twitter and removing certain narratives and certain stories, like the Hunter Biden laptop story.
Yeah.
If you support that because it fits with your ideology, ultimately you support government control over a narrative. And it's going to go the other way if a Republican gets in office. Then you're going to deal with a similar problem. Imagine if instead of Hunter Biden's laptop, it was Donald Trump Jr.'s laptop. And Donald Trump Jr.'s laptop, he's getting foot jobs by prostitutes and smoking street crack in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Do you think they would have censored that off of Twitter?
Holy shit, man.
Do you think they would have censored that off of Twitter and said, we can't verify the information? We don't know whether or not it's true.
No.
It has all the earmarks of Russian disinformation. There's not a fucking chance in hell. That's the problem. Like, the truth dies with censorship.